Let's return to that breaking news out of Washington. We were telling you about those new photographs from the Epstein estate have been made public through the House Oversight Committee, the Democrats on it. These just some of the pictures, and the BBC website has a live page with more of the pictures. Nomia Iqbal is across this story. Nomia, just tell us a little more. Let's take this in stages, because not the first time the Oversight Committee and the Democrats have released a batch of pictures, but 19 more so far that have become public.
That's right, Matthew. So these files are separate to the Epstein files, and they're held by the Justice Department, and they have to release them by the 19th of December. So we should get more later on. So these are, as you mentioned, 19 photos. And just looking at them now, I've got the images in front of me. It's probably helpful for me to say who appears in these photos. So Jeffrey Epstein himself does not feature in all of the images. So who we've got here is the US President, Donald Trump. There's also President Trump's former advisor, Steve Bannon. You've got the former US President, Bill Clinton. There's also Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the former prince. There's also entrepreneur Bill Gates, actor Woody Allen, lawyer Alan Dershowitz, and the US economist Larry Summers. And I should also mention British entrepreneur Richard Branson. Now, it's really important to say a couple of things here, is that some of these pictures are already in the public domain, so some of them are not new. They also, just because we have these pictures there's no implication that there's any wrongdoing whatsoever here, or that anyone in these pictures has committed any kind of crime or anything like that. None of them depict any sexual misconduct, and we believe they don't depict underage girls. It's not actually immediately clear when or where they were taken or by whom. There is one picture with the former Prince Andrew and now King Charles, which was at an official event. It's actually an official photograph taken by the company Getty. So, as I say, there is no implication that these photos these photos don't imply, is what I should be saying, that there's any wrongdoing. But I think what it does do, it just is, the Democrats are trying to show the links that Jeffrey Epstein had, or I'd say that the social connections and the people that he knew and the people that were part of his orbit. But as I said at the start, that these are separate to the Epstein files, which are held by the Justice Department, and there's huge pressure on President Trump, his Justice Department, to release the Epstein files, because, of course, remember, that was one of the big things that he campaigned on, yes, to release all of them. And
in terms of that latter point, it is an issue that Donald Trump has said in various press conferences. Are you still asking me about that? This is an issue that simply won't go away.
Yes, it's a story that he just can't kill, no matter how much he tries. And he gets very angry as well. We've seen that when reporters question him about the Jeffrey Epstein files earlier this month, or I think it might have been last month, forgive me, when a reporter on Air Force One asked him about Jeffrey Epstein, and he said to her, "Quiet piggy." So the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, saga, all of that is something that really gets under his skin, which has really confounded members of his own party. Because some of them have broken away from him over it, as we have seen with the Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example, who was a very high-profile supporter of Donald Trump once upon a time. Mr. Trump himself had campaigned on the promise to release all the files on Jeffrey Epstein. He stoked the conspiracy theories. I remember it clearly when on the campaign trail about whether or not Jeffrey Epstein did indeed die by suicide. There's no evidence to suggest that he didn't, but there is a big conspiracy theory out there in the world of MAGA that he didn't, that somehow he had access to a list of powerful people involved in crimes and he was killed in order to stop that list from being released. There's no evidence of that list. There's no evidence of any of that. And there's no evidence, as I say, that Jeffrey Epstein didn't die by suicide. But these are conspiracy theories that are very hot out there on social media, in that kind of MAGA world. And it was stoked by President Trump. But now he has done this huge U-turn where he's saying there's nothing to see here. But it's not enough to satisfy his base. This is a story that is still very much on their minds. Nomia, thanks for going through all of that. And if there's more, we'll return to you.
But around the world and across the UK, you're watching BBC News.